Periscope. And, okay, Instagram, Periscope, my business page. And then one more. 7 things. Okay, go live. Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are doing absolutely amazing on this Hump Day Wednesday. I have a great broadcast for those of you who are exceptional salon professionals and you want to continue to push through and, really make sure that you're aligned with that big vision that you have, what you really, really desire for your salon career. Oh, I didn't hit go live. I thought I hit it. We're going to talk about some things that can kind of get in the way so you guys can be mindful of them and so you can smash your goals, your dreams, and those things that you really desire for your salon industry career. Good morning. As you're coming in, put your name in the comments. Let me see who's rocking out with me this morning. The state that you rock out in. Hey, niece, how are you, dear? And what you do in the industry. I'm going to do a quick introduction. You guys see in the title, 7 things that stifle the success of exceptional salon professionals. Guys, I see, hey, Adriana and William, good morning. Thank you for joining. There are so many talented people in the industry. And I'm going to kind of walk you guys through some things that I've had to learn so that I could continue to push through Florida awesome and just really smash my goals with, without all of the limitations that we sometimes have. And I'm going to share those things with you guys on this morning. If you could do me a favor, if you gain something from the broadcast, get an aha moment or a transformational moment, be sure to tap the screen for hearts, show your girl a little love. There are share capabilities on each device. I'm on Periscope, Instagram, and both my Facebook pages. Tyree, good morning, darling. Thank you for joining. If you guys could share that out so that another industry professional could get the message. Quick introduction. If you've never, ever been on a live broadcast with me before, I'm Tanya Wilson-Cherry, beauty business consultant and certified life coach. I actually operate from a transformational space, helping people to overcome limiting beliefs that keep us inside these boxes that have been created either by society, our environment, maybe our past, or even the industry itself, right? Because I'm learning that there is a culture and an attitude that actually has kept many of us stuck, many of us feeling like there's only one way to do it. And when we follow suit to that, we oftentimes don't get to the measure that we truly desire, for our lives and our careers. And so I operate in the aspect of helping people to just remove all the boxes, children. Staley loves hair. How are you, dear? I help people just remove those boxes and those limitations because they keep us so stuck. And many times, is that T.E.A.M? Am I pronouncing that properly? T.E.A.M, perhaps. I think T.E.A.M sounds a little bit better. I'll tear a name up. I'm sorry, guys, not intentionally though, but I want to pronounce it right. Let me know if I said that right. T.E.A.M, thank you for joining this morning. So 7 things, right, that stifle exceptional salon professionals. 7 things. And you guys know, if you followed me before, this one right here is not one that, is maybe new to you, but it is something we need to revisit all the time. And that's lack of vision. That's one of the biggest things that stifles some of the greatest salon professionals. I have met some amazingly talented people in the industry, right? Amanda Delton, good morning. Thank you for joining. And one of the unfortunate things is they lack vision, right? And so without vision, they continue to do the same thing over and over again, even if times change, even if the industry changes. And it's because they're following suit to things that they maybe saw, in the past. So lack of vision is always going to be number one reason why people stay stuck. I'll give you guys an example. So this week for me has been a really rough week, right? Maybe the last 2 weeks actually. And I was talking to a girlfriend of mine who I enjoy talking to her so much because we inspire each other. we kind of keep each other connected to what it is that we say we really desire in our Tyra. Okay, awesome. In our life and our business, right? And so, because guys, you guys know we can say that we want one thing, right? But if we kind of look at what's going on around us or our daily activities, sometimes those things don't align. And so, although I hire coaches to help me as well, I also want to make sure that the people who are around me are thinking next level because they help me stay aligned with my vision. So I was telling her that I was feeling some type of way, right? I was feeling some type of way. Can you guys hear me clearly? I saw that Instagram just said poor connection. If you guys can hear me, put clear in the comments. And for those of you who may have a struggle on a particular device, you can join me on my business page, which is facebook.com/buildwithtanya, facebook.com/buildwithtanya. Yes, moving the boxes. Yes, Tyra. I mean, it's so important. Like, and a lot of times the boxes and the limitations that we have, we don't even recognize that they're there until we get around someone who's speaking differently or someone who brings attention to it, because it's kind of like our routine. We just do it all the time. So I was sharing with my girlfriend, I was like, man, I'm just kind of feeling off here lately. And, it reminded me, one, of my vision, which I keep written down, right? So I can make sure I'm staying online or on track for my vision. But I also remembered that this time of the year, every year, is heavy for me. My daughter has a minimum of 2 recitals, piano and dance, around the latter part of May and then the beginning of June, which often requires me to do some more running, right? Because normally she needs, maybe a new dress, new shoes or something. And then we have to make the recital, the rehearsals. It's a busier time on top of all of the other things, that I have going on. And then because I'm considering changing schools for her, I've had to, do transcripts and paperwork and things of that nature, just adding on to my normal responsibility. And so I had to take a moment, right? And this is so important, guys, to become aware, right? I had to take a moment to become aware of what was really transpiring because when we just continue doing stuff, right, and not like really processing it, we eventually burn out and we don't have any idea why we've burned out. We just burn out, and then in our mind, we don't want to do the very thing that we desire, the very things that we need to do in order to get to where we desire. So vision is so important because I was able to like reconnect and say, okay, look, you've been doing so many different things outside of what you set out to do. That is the only reason that you're burned out. It has nothing to do with what's going on, in the actual business. So vision is really important. The next thing, right, that stifles successful salon professionals is being in a non-progressive environment. I'm going to say that one more time. Being in a non-progressive environment. So many of you have been connected to, working in, and involved with non-progressive environments. And what that looks like is an environment that just kind of stays the same all the time. It's very predictable. There's not really any changes or growth or, anything of that nature. Maybe non-progressive it just feels like it's not moving. Like I'm just doing the same routine thing all the time. And so many exceptional, and I say exceptional, here by Donnie. Hey there, how are you? Thank you for joining. I say exceptional. People get stifled because most exceptional people have really big visions. And in their deepest heart, on my personal page, can you guys hear me? I keep seeing that number go up and down, up and down, up and down. Can someone, Kim, you're on, can you put clear, if it's clear, in the comments for me? Because Instagram constantly is going out over here. I'm imagining it may be my connection. If so, I'll log off and put it back on. Hey Cynthia, how are you? Somebody up there, let me know if you guys are clear on that end on my personal page. So being in a non-progressive environment will drain you guys, especially for someone who has a big vision. They're a progressive thinker. They get burned out just from the simple fact that, nothing seems to be growing or moving. So this is one of the things we said: not having a vision. We said two, being in a non-progressive environment. And this is why it's just so important. Community is huge. We take relationships sometimes for granted. We take the people that we're connected to, that we're listening to on a regular basis for granted. So this very next thing is the third reason, or the third thing that stifles successful salon professionals, and that's their conversations. Their conversations. So I have an amazing program. It's a private program. I don't even, give out links or invitations to it publicly. But one of the huge things about it is it's by invitation only or referral. It's for really, really highly driven salon professionals who have really big goals. And I'm particular about who I allow into the program because I understand that the conversations that you're hearing on a regular basis matters. And it's an extended program, right? So it's not like 3 months or 6 months. It's an extended program. And so I know how important conversations are to getting to the next level. So I accept 10 people into the program at a time. And so this is what I understand and know about this. So the chances of all 10 people having a bad day or a bad week or a bad month at the same time is very, very slim, right? So that means, because life happens and sometimes stuff is just going to happen. I just shared with you guys that I had, my last 2 weeks have been really busy and, a little overwhelming, sometimes even frustrating. And I had to sit down and recognize that I had a lot of new things that were transpiring for me, not just in my business, but in my personal life, so that I could reshift and balance. Because one of the things that's really, really, really important to me is my energy, right? Because I am spreading that energy with my clients, the people who come to work with me. And a poor spirit just ruins everything. It's like it's hard to move when your spirit is broken. And so as the leader, it's my job to bring that energy into the space. And so checking my energy is really, really, really important to me. Not only because I'm serving people, but because I have people around me that I love, right? That I'm pouring into and I'm sowing into. And so in checking my energy, I noticed that I needed to shift. But conversations are important. One of the biggest things I feel we take for granted are the conversations that we're having on a regular basis. Like the people that you're talking to, are they complaining about what's not working? Just all types of, are they bringing all of their baggage and drama to you on a regular basis, because it has the ability to wear you down. It also has the ability to limit and shrink your next level vision, right? So who you're listening to, your conversations are so important, which is, one of the reasons I was telling you with my private program, I'm very particular about who comes in, right? Because if one person or two people may have had a bad week or month, the possibility of them being elevated and shifted back to connect with their vision is very high, because they're in the room with high level thinkers and highly driven people, and the numbers, they'll just outweigh it with their wins and the amazing things that are happening in their lives. So those conversations are important, guys. Now, that's not to say we don't have things going on in our lives that we need to converse about, right? That we need to have someone to speak to about. But when there are no solutions behind the things that we're complaining about or frustrated about, then it just begins to sit on us. And it affects and stifles, one, our motivation, two, our mindset, which is number 4, the fourth thing that stifles the success of exceptional salon professionals, and that's mindset. And so there's a tendency in our industry, or it could be just life, right? To think that it will just work out. It will just work out. Now, don't get me wrong when I say that mindset can be stifling, right? To think that it will just work out. Because you guys know I talk all the time about faith. Shuntress, how are you, dear? I talk about faith and possibility and hope all the time. But there are times where if we're not operating with the right mindset, we'll think it'll just work out without us having to do anything different. That's where the stifling of success comes in, when we just say, oh, it'll just work out, without thinking, well, maybe there's something I need to shift or do differently, or maybe there's a consistency that I don't have, that I need to have. I'm going to put my business page, because I think this other page is going out. Facebook.com/build-a-team. So if for any reason you're, popping into the broadcast and it's going in and out for you on my business, on my personal page, I put a link in the comments. It'll shift you over to my business page on Facebook. So mindset is huge. And, we got to get out of the space of thinking, of course we have hope, right? And possibility, but a lot of the confidence in that comes from knowing that we've gotten the answers, right, to next, or whatever needs to be changed or shifted or tweaked. Number 2, this is under mindset again. Mindset was number 4, but I listed several things under the topic mindset that stifle successful salon professionals in their career, exceptional salon professionals. Their point of view of business. So in our industry, I think we think that because we're in such a creative industry, it's so easy to be fooled into thinking that if I just learn more creative stuff, I'll be fine. I have a concept that I teach my salon industry professional hairstylists and salon owners who come to work with me. And that's to go deep before you go wide. Go deep before you go wide. And so a lot of times it's not that you necessarily need to do more skill set. You need to learn more about what it is that you're already doing, right? Become an expert in that particular thing. Become an expert at marketing or actually running the business. So under the mindset that the industry really isn't business, that it's all passion, and it's not, right? Another thing under mindset, because this is all thinking, this part here. Number 4 is mindset, and it's all thinking. What stifles many exceptional salon professionals is they don't give themselves permission to evolve. They do not give themselves permission to evolve, meaning they stay attached to the past, like how they used to do things or how the industry used to operate. And what happens is you just can't take the same systems into a new season and desire new results. And so a lot of people who are amazing at their crafts become stifled in their success because they feel that they don't give themselves permission to evolve. It's like, I'm just going to stay a hairstylist behind a chair doing 10, 15 heads all the time. I'm not going to change anything up. But the industry is changing, forever changing and evolving. And you and your brand should be doing the same thing. Give yourselves permission. It's a mindset. It's like, I'm stuck in the past. I'm stuck with how I've always done things. And this is going to work. And this is the next thing under mindset that stifles us. Attitude. Attitude. How many of you have ever met an amazing stylist whose attitude just sucked? Their attitude just, there's no other way to describe it. Their attitude simply sucked. Like everything was, they complained about everything. Whenever opportunity was presented, they found all the things that could possibly be wrong with it before they ever embraced possibility. Even in the work environment, it's always something negative, or something they're not happy with, or something they don't like, or something needs to change, or whatever, right? Attitude will stifle the success of someone who is ordinarily just exceptional as far as their skill set, and really have the ability to go really far. And so this is another reason why I was telling you guys that, I just had to sit for a minute in awareness and realize why I was feeling off, and also know that I needed to create space and boundaries so that I could, make sure that I was depositing things into my spirit so that I could realign, right? So that I didn't snap at anyone or bite anyone's head off, or, maybe take the wrong attitude about something that was actually an opportunity. But because I'm frustrated, because I have a lot going on, I couldn't see any of that, because that's what attitude does. The wrong attitude blocks the ability to see possibility, right? Because it's always looking for what's wrong with the situation instead of looking for what's right with it and what's possible. The next thing, this is under mindset. So, and guys, it takes a really, really mature individual to check themselves. It takes a really, really mature individual to, one, be aware that they're operating their business or life from the wrong attitude or the wrong perspective, and then two, to actually take the time to do something about it, right? It takes some, and this is why I talk about personal development. I actually, inside my mentoring programs, we talk about things that could cause people to be thrown off from their great energy and their great flow, because it affects how we operate. And how we operate, it's our brand, right? It's how the marketplace sees us. It's how we show up. It's the energy that we give off. And so whatever we give off is what we put back. Can I restate the others before mindset? Yep. When I finish, I think I have maybe 3 more. I'll go back and do a recap, Chantress. I'll go back and do a recap, okay? So those were like different mindsets that actually stifle us, guys. They actually stifle us, and we just got to be careful. So the next one, this is the last one under mindset, is awareness. And it all ties in, right? It all ties in. And this is why I think it's important that we schedule time to just be. It's important that we schedule time to just be. Many of us who are exceptional and highly driven, we could just keep going, and going, and no matter what's coming at us, we're still pushing and we're still going. But if we're not aware, we don't realize that we're not showing up at the highest version of ourselves. And so and what happens when we are frustrated or when we are overwhelmed, the energy that we put out, we get it back. And so it becomes this continuous cycle. And this is why people say it feels like it's just one thing after another. It feels like it's just one thing after another. Because if we're not careful to become aware of how we're operating and how we're walking things out, we begin to attract the very thing that we don't desire right back into our life and our business. That attraction thing is so amazing, because even when it comes to, you guys know, I teach that you should find your ideal customer, right? The customer that values your service, they're comfortable with what you charge, they're timely, they respect your policies. And when we're looking for those ideal people, we also have a responsibility to make sure that we're showing up like that, right? Like when we're in a situation, do we value what other people charge? Or are we always looking for a deal, right? Do we value one thing after another? Yes. Do we value being on time, right? You guys get that? So whenever we're looking for these ideal customers and, the specific person that we want to continue to serve and attract into our business, we also have to make sure that that's who we're showing up as, even in other situations outside of the salon, because all day, every day, we're attracting people into our life and our business all the time. And so awareness is the last portion under mindset. And it's just like, just take a few minutes just to be, right? Just to see how you're showing up in the world. Because our brand is how the marketplace sees us, right? And our energy, guys, I can't even begin to explain how much your energy, the energy that you're putting out into the marketplace affects all of the harvest and all of the return that you're getting in your life and your business. So mindset was number 4, and it was several things under mindset. So this is the next thing that stifles some of the greatest professionals in the industry. Staying stuck on previous success. Staying stuck on previous success. So have you guys ever met someone who most of their conversation is about how they had it going on like 10 years ago? Y'all tap the screen. Any of you all ever met someone that every time, or they're still talking about, they're 10, 15 years out of high school, and all they're really talking about is the accolades from high school, right? And so one of the things that stifles exceptional people is, the continuation of just being stuck on previous success, because this is what happens, right? So as long as our new conversation is about the past, we never focus on what we could do now to make now better, right? It's like, I remember when. Like, I used to have so many clients. I used to have a salon full of staff, right? I used to hit 6 figures like it was nothing. All of the used to conversations. And so if we aren't careful, we'll continue to repeat those conversations over and over. And we never allow room for, the awareness of what we can do now, not to just get it back to where it was, but to go to even a higher level. So one of the things that stifles, exceptional salon professionals is staying stuck on their previous success, right? They're recognizing the past instead of what they need to do now in order to at least get to that space and then above. The next thing is fear. And you guys can only imagine how fear, stifles an exceptional salon professional. So they're scared to do something different. They're scared to do something bigger. They're scared to do it a new way. They're afraid to even invest, right? I get it, because if you're normally investing in something that's going to be, valuable for your next level, it's going to feel a little uncomfortable. I've done it, right? It's like, whoa, right? But we know that whatever we're investing in, the level that we're investing in is based on the level that we really desire to go, right? If we want to stay on the same level that we're on, then yeah, we can invest in something that's super comfortable, super easy. It doesn't feel, oh, I'm going to buy that or I'm going to purchase that. It doesn't require us to operate or stand up at another level at all, because it's within our comfort zone, right? And so fear is that thing that keeps you doing what you can do on the current level, as opposed to stretching you so that you can get to a higher version of yourself, to operate at a different space and a different mindset and get results, on another level. Ashley, good morning, dear. How are you? And so the next thing is actually what we invest in. So I was talking about fear, and I really want you guys to think about, like, what are you investing your time in, right? What are you investing your energy in? Who are you investing your time and energy in, right? Do they really have the capabilities to take you where you really desire your salon industry career and life to be? Because, this goes back to, we'll choose like little nitpicky things, buy little gadgets and tools and some people are addicted to investing in a course after course, one course after another, but the courses were never really enough to stretch them. Because you guys know, if we're talking about investing from a financial perspective, good morning, you're wonderful, awesome. If we're talking about investing from a financial perspective, if you invest a little more, you show up differently. Lord have mercy. If you invest a little more, you show up differently because you value the investment that you just made. I see it all the time with people who invest in some of my larger courses, as far as price wise or value wise, they just show up differently because it's like, hey, I need to get a return on this investment. So what happens when you invest differently, you operate at a higher version of yourself. And see, once you begin to operate in that flow and that space, you attract it back into your business. I have an opportunity now where I'll be in a space with someone that I put on my affirmation cards and my vision board, right? Because I know where my desire is financially for my business. Sometimes we run when we're talking about money, but if you're in business, you should have some number goals. And they shouldn't just be, I want to do 30 more clients than I normally do. Those clients should be attached to a number goal, right? Because you guys know you can do 30 more clients and still not profit, right? And so when you begin to, look at it from the perspective that you've assigned an amount to what that is that you want to do, that now says, okay, how many clients is it going to take to do that? And if I don't have enough clients, what new strategy do I need to get to in order to reach that income goal, right? And so the income goals that I have are beyond six figures. Most of us, if we started out in the 90s, early 90s, we did six figures behind a chair, right? So they're beyond six-figure goals. So I knew I needed to be in the room with people who had done that, and I put it on my affirmation card, right? And those things are transpiring and happening. And it's also important to me because I understand that that level of investment or being connected, income goals, absolutely. That level of investing or being connected is also going to give me more valuable information for those people who come to coach with me, right? Or the people that I consult with in their business. And so if you guys begin to operate from a space of really serving, right? Because I know if I want to serve from a higher level, it means I have to invest differently. My time, my energy, and my resources, right? There's some things you're not going to learn on this level, right? Hey, Andrea, how are you? It's not going to happen because they cannot give you that next level information. It's just what it is. And so oftentimes when I'm looking to coach, it's for my next level. It's not for the level I'm on. It's for my next level. And so I understand that how I'm investing my time, my money, my energy, and my resources, it has to align with where I want to go, which goes back to one of the first things I said that Stifle, exceptional salon professionals, is they don't really have a real vision. It's not a real, true vision. So the next thing is, and this is huge, and I'm going to give you guys a bonus one. So many exceptional salon professionals are just stifled and stuck because they don't have a community, right? One of the things about highly driven people is we can have a tendency to want to do everything on our own, right? Or, as I said before when I talked about one of the seven, we get to a certain measure where we don't think we need help, right? And so not having a community, and I kind of talked earlier about the value of a community. Like if you were frustrated, if you were having a bad week or day and you're in the room, you're in an environment with highly driven professionals, right? Salon professionals, 9 times out of 10, if it's 10 of them, 8 of them at least are going to be talking about their wins. They're going to be talking about next level strategy. And all of that is going to become infused into your mind and help you to shift from what may have, kind of thrown you off, because we all get thrown off sometimes, right? We all get thrown off sometimes. And so there's a lot of professionals who don't have a community, or they're in the wrong community, right? And sometimes we can be in a community, but we don't contribute, right? So it's like you can't get out of something what you don't invest. And so many are stifled. I mean, they're amazing. They're simply amazing, but they're their talents and gifts are being stifled by either the lack of community or being in a community that is not equipped to shift them to their next level, right? They don't have what's needed to take them to the next level because they're either on the level that they're on, or they've never been to the level that they want to go, or they're below. Sometimes we do so much conversing with people who really can't. They can console us. They can say, girl, I understand. They can agree with, what you may be struggling with or what you may be complaining about, because they may be in the same situation, but they can't really give us the strategy or the answers for next level. And so not having a community or not being connected to the right community is one of the things that stifles some amazing people who could really go far and really go to amazing levels and see, just amazing results in their career if they would be open to enlarging their community or changing the community of people, their tribe altogether. It's important, guys. I can't even begin to explain the importance of being in an amazing community and actually giving in that community as well. And number 8, the last one, is lack of implementation. And this is where I see people buy course after course after course, and they haven't implemented what they learned in the last course, right? It's like if I get one more piece of information, but information is only as good as the information that you get, the knowledge that you receive is only good if you've applied it, right? Because there's no way to measure to see if it's working if it hasn't been applied, if it hasn't been implemented. So I see many who struggle. They're like on this chase, let me go learn more. I can answer all the questions, right? But I can't show any results because I have not implemented, right? I can say, oh, I took that class. Oh, I know that answer. Oh, I learned how to do that technique, right? But implementation, I really haven't implemented, so I haven't seen any results. So I'm going to go and chase something else, right? So one of the perspectives that I teach from is going deeper before going wider. In my 3D Success Mentorship and Branding Bootcamp, we go deep into branding, because once you understand it, it's some small shifts you can make that will give you huge impact and growth in your business. And you won't have to do 50 things, because let's think about it like this. So we have, 5 skill sets that we're already good at, but we're not reaching the income goals that we desire. So we go learn a new skill set, right? I get people who come to me and say, well, I need to learn some of these trendy styles and things that the stylists are doing now. But if you learn a new technique and you don't master it, then you just have like 10 different things that you know how to do. So you're getting a few people for this and a few people for that. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing, because people pay for value. And so once you begin to really maximize, master, and become an expert at a few things, people will pay you more for it, and you'll work smarter and not harder, right? And so I feel people lack implementation, so they take 5,000 things before really, really understanding a few things and implementing them consistently and seeing, massive growth from, most of the time it's some of the things that you already know, you just don't know enough about it, right? You just don't know enough about, the marketing or the strategy or the implementation of the thing to really see a profit on it. So a lot are stifled. If that's you, if you're like, okay, I've taken several courses, right? But I never really dived deep on a few things, right, that are going to take me to the next level. I invite you, renewfullcircle.com/3D-success. My 3D Success Mentorship and Branding Bootcamp is a 12-week transformational course. It helps you really, really understand who you are as a brand, the value that you have in the marketplace, so that you will know, like, this is what I really need to be focusing on. This is going to help me to see massive growth, and I don't have to learn 50 things, right? Many of my clients who've taken 3D Success Mentorship and Branding boot camp before, they're not doing 50 different things, right? But they're seeing, much larger increase in their finances than they were before, because their goal is to become experts in the things that we strategize on, right? That are really going to take them to the next level. Carla, good morning. How are you? So for those of you who'd like to join, the investment is $9.97. I have made it very doable by doing some installment payments. There's one where you pay $157 to save your seat, and then you pay reoccurring payments. I think it's like $78 per week. And then there's another where I think you pay 3 payments of $280 something. Don't quote me on it, but you guys can check it out. renewfullcircle.com/3D-success. Shuntress, I'll come back and put the link in the comments. I'd love to have you in. You get 12 weeks with me. I also have other experts who come in to help you with specific things, right, for your career. We talk about pricing. It's so much mentoring. We talk about discovery, because many of you are at a stage where you really need to evolve in your career. And you've been denying, the fact that you need to evolve. So we help you to really discover what aligns with you right now at this space in the industry. And then I let you know that you do have freedom to evolve. Many of us are so stuck to, the normal business model within the salon industry. And it's changing. It's just simply changing, right? And I feel we need multiple streams of revenue in our industry. But I'd love to have you guys join me. It's a 12-week transformational course. We talk about vision, pricing, marketing. We talk about Facebook Live. For those of you who have a fear of it, it's one of the fastest ways to grow your business and bring awareness to your business. We create marketing strategies. I give you guys a bonus budgeting and financial freedom course. Because sometimes it's just about shifting the finances that we have around so that we can properly invest in the things that are going to take us to the next level. We find out those things that you're really great at and help you really define who you are as a brand, so that you can attract, the right people who will pay you for your services with ease. For your services with ease. Andrea says, a few things done very well consistently for a desired number of clients. Guys, I have one program that's a private program. I don't even do like a link on it. And that one program alone is, some people's salary, right? It's not that it's a lot of people, but the amount, those people, one, understand value. They get amazing, results in that opportunity. And they understand investment. They understand community. And it doesn't take me tons of people in order to, add, value to them and my own life as well. And so I teach that. I have stylists who work 3 days behind the chair who are 6-figure earners. Multiple streams. I need to learn this. And so I invite you guys, 3D Success Mentorship and Branding Bootcamp, renewfullcircle.com/3D-success. By request, I will go back over the 7 things. I'll run down the list really quick. Shuntress had asked that I repeat the ones before. Mindset. So the first thing that stifles is not having a vision. And doing hair is not necessarily, it's not a vision, guys, right? That should be a goal that aligns to a vision. You guys get that? Y'all tap the screen if y'all get that. Doing hair is not a vision. Doing hair is a vision when you don't have your license, right? So when you're not licensed and you want to do hair, then doing hair is the vision then. But once you become licensed, just to do hair every single day is not the vision. It's not the vision. So one of the things that stifles some amazingly talented, exceptional salon professionals is they lack vision. Number 2 was being in a non-progressive environment. If you're highly driven, you're visionary, you need to be stimulated, right? You need to be in environments that can actually help you shift into your next level. And so a lot of times being in a non-progressive, this is what we do all the time, it's the same, it stifles the exceptional salon professional's career. Number 3, your conversations. Conversations stifle. Oh, they're huge, right? I've had people say, I'm my own person and I'm not influenced by what they do, right? But we're an average, whether we like it or not, of the 5 people we spend the most time listening to. We're an average of them. Our income is either 20% above or below the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Usually our morals are aligned with those people. What we believe is true, what we believe is possible, right? And so the conversations that we're having on a regular basis, right? They have the ability to stifle our career. And this is why you guys have to guard your heart. You got to guard your vision, right? And make sure that you're creating boundaries and that you've even set standards for what it is that you want to listen to, right? I want to listen to next level talk, right? I want to listen to people who have big goals and they're smashing it and they're doing what's necessary to get it done. I don't necessarily want to hear, not that I'm not compassionate, right? But I don't want to always hear complaining unless we're now getting ready to talk about solutions. So I can listen to someone who has struggles and issues and things of that nature. But when we mention solutions, if they continuously keep going back to the complaining, it drains me, right? So when we bring awareness about a problem, let's talk about a solution. Those are the conversations that I have to have in order to maintain the mindset that's going to take me to the next level. Because people who are looking for their next level and are very serious about it, they want to talk about solutions. They don't want to sit and have the woe is me conversation all the time on the phone with, a friend, or, even when you begin to do those things with your clients, whether you know it or not, it drains them. And then many of them, if you're talking about all the bad stuff that's not working, in the back of their mind, they're saying, maybe I need to just keep my eye open for another stylist or another salon, because I just don't know when things are going to go left, right? Y'all don't hear me, right? So conversations is also one thing that stifles an exceptional salon professional, because listen to this. So if you're having those conversations and it just so happens that, your conversations about doom and gloom are with your customers, even if you do a great job, do you know they won't refer you, right? Because they feel that the person or the people that they refer are going to be subject to having to hear that conversation too. And so it's important, if you feel that you're in a space where, okay, you say, I'm aware, I have been operating like that. Most of the conversations that I've been having, we've all been in agreement that this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, but nobody's really been talking about the solution. And so I have this heaviness about what's going on all the time. If that's you, just know that you can change that when you get in an environment with someone who's thinking and talking about your next level, someone who has the capacity to allow you to expand, right? And so many of us, or many of you, aren't in an environment that allows you to expand, right? To even talk about possibility and feel that it's really possible, right? And so conversations. And then we talked about mindset. It was probably about 5 or 6 things under mindset. You guys can go back and catch that on the replay. Also, we talked about staying stuck on previous success. Like, we're still talking about the success we used to have 10 years ago, instead of focusing on what we can do now that will bring new levels of success. And so I asked, had anyone ever met someone, every time you talk to them, they're talking about, I used to have it going on. I used to have a whole lot of clients, right? I used to have a fully packed salon. That's all their conversation is about. And instead of conversing about the strategies that they could do now to get it not just back to the point that it was, but beyond, they use their conversation time to talk about their past success. And sometimes we let our previous success fool us, and we aren't aware that that was then. What can we do now, right, to up level and increase what we have going on. The next one was fear. Fear stifles us. Fear keeps us right where we are, afraid to do something different, afraid to change even, how we do things, our routine. And then I said the next one was what we invest on. A lot of times we invest on all these tools and gadgets and you know, which is cool, right? If you are an exceptional precision cutter, right? You need to invest in a great pair of shears, right? But if you haven't, started mastering and you're constantly buying shears, it's not necessarily going to do a whole lot if you haven't gone deeper into the technique, right? And this is how you up level your value. You figure out what it is that you need to focus the most of your energy on, and you go really, really deep on understanding that. And then you see massive results without having to do 50 different things. So what you invest in, and what level are you willing to invest in for your next level? Because that's how you get a return. You got to figure out the value of whatever the thing is that you want to invest in, and how it's going to affect your current situation. And not having the right community, or not having community at all. Many times, when we are highly driven professionals, we just want to do everything on our own, right? We want to do everything on our own. And community is huge, guys. If you're having a rough day and you got the right community around you, then they're talking about their wins, and they're talking about what they have going on in their business. And I don't know how many of you have had an opportunity to be in an amazing room, or to spend elongated time in a great community, but that alone pushes you to do what you need to get done. So I value community. I invest in community. It's important to me. And so there's some exceptional people who don't have a community, that will allow them to grow and really stretch. And then I gave a bonus, which was number 8. And it said, it was that we lack implementation. We lack implementation. So it stifles. We'll take 50 courses, but we never really implement what we learn. And so we think it's not working, so we go get another course, right? Instead of getting a course that's going to take us deeper into what we actually need to know, skills, then tools, and our products. And then some of the skills need to be, how do I operate the business? How do I earn money, right? Because we can be an amazing hair cutter, but if we don't know how to market it and we don't have any customers to do it on, it's null and void. So how to even attract clients, the right people who, if you've invested in something for a long time and you have this amazing skill set, but you don't have anyone to service, right? It means that you don't need to learn the skill set. You need to learn how to attract the right people into your business. You need to learn some business and some marketing, not just more of the skill set. And so those were 7 things that stifle exceptional salon professionals who are absolutely amazing, right? But when they're not aware that those things are missing or needed in their salon career, it normally keeps them stuck. It stifles them. And so, guys, set boundaries, right? Create standards based on what it is that you really desire to do, which requires you to have a clear vision. And we talk about, creating a vision and a mission statement that really aligns with who you are now inside 3D Success Mentorship and Branding Bootcamp, so that you can take the next 12 months after those 12 weeks and focus on those things that align with your vision and align with really creating the massive growth that you desire to have. Are there any questions on this morning? Any questions? 7 things that stifle the success of exceptional salon professionals. I hope you guys have enjoyed the broadcast. I thank you always for, just stopping in, checking out. It's not too late to share on the broadcast. You guys can press one of the share capabilities. I'm on my personal page, my business page, Periscope, and Instagram. I will see you guys again on Monday at 11:30 a.m.